Marcus Aurelius, the Roman philosopher-emperor, is one of the main representatives of Stoicism. Born in the year 121 after Christ, and died in 180 after Christ, he has gone down in history for being one of the best leaders of all time. In the last years of his life he wrote his Meditations, a personal and private diary written for himself, in which he remembered how he wanted to be, how he wanted to act, and by what principles he wanted to be guided. His Meditations have become one of the reference sources for this Stoic philosophy of life. In today's video we are going to see 50 of his best phrases extracted from his fantastic written legacy, which I encourage you to repeat and memorize until they become part of your internal dialogue. It is one of the first steps that I recommend taking when learning to practice Stoicism. But before continuing, I invite you to support the channel with your subscription and a warm like to continue growing and bringing wisdom to more people. Here I present a compilation of the 50 phrases. 1. The best revenge is to be different from the person who caused the damage. 2. What is not useful for the hive is not useful for the bee. 3. If it's not convenient, don't do it. If it is not true, do not tell. Be master of your inclinations. 4. Perform each of your actions as if it were the last of your life. 5. Do not act as if you were going to live 1,000 years, act as if the end were very near. 6. Sweetness, when it is sincere, is an invincible force. 7. The art of living is more like fighting than dancing. 8. The world is nothing but transformation, and life is nothing but opinion. 9. Calm as well as determined, cheerful as well as consistent, is the man who follows reason in everything. 10. Nowhere can man find a retreat so imperturbable and tranquil as in the intimacy of his soul. 11. Time is like a river that quickly sweeps away everything that is born. 12. There is only one light from the sun, although it is hindered by walls, mountains, and countless impediments. 13. Don't waste any more time arguing about what a good man should be. He tries to be one. 14. Do not allow your memory to become alienated from the things you have, but from those that you need. 15. You have power over your mind, not over events. Realize this and you will find strength. 16. All things are intertwined with each other and their common bond is sacred and almost none is foreign to the other, because all are coordinated and contribute to the order of the same world. 17. How much time he saves who does not turn around to see what his neighbor does, says, or thinks. 18. We were born to collaborate, just like the feet, the hands, the eyelids, the rows of teeth, upper and lower. To act, therefore, as adversaries of one another is contrary to nature. 19. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is perspective, not the truth. 20. Getting started is half the work, start again with the remaining half, and you will be done. 21. I often wonder how it is that every man loves himself more than others, but despite everything he gives less value to his own opinions than to the opinions of others. 22. If you are upset by an external cause, the pain is not due to the cause itself, but to the value you place on it. And you have the power to revoke that value. 23. Retreats are sought in the countryside, on the coast and in the mountains. You too often long for such retreats. But all that is most vulgar, because you can, whenever you feel like it, withdraw into yourself. 24. Collect yourself. The rational inner guide can, by nature, be self-sufficient by practicing justice and, accordingly, maintaining calm. 25. He speaks, whether in the Senate or before anyone, with elegance and accuracy. He uses sound terminology. 26. He receive without pride, detach yourself without attachment. 27. Remember that neither the future or the past are burdensome to you, but always the present. And this is minimized, if you delimit it exclusively to itself. 28. Every time you are about to point out a flaw in another person, ask yourself the following question: what flaw in me is similar to the one I am about to criticize? 29. Look to the past, with its changing empires that rose and fell, and you will be able to foresee the future. 30. Do you want to be praised by a man who curses himself 3 times an hour? Do you want to please a man who doesn't please himself? 31. If any man hates me, that is his problem. My only concern is not to do or say anything that deserves that hate. 32. He who fears death fears insensitivity or another sensation. But if you no longer perceive sensitivity, you will not perceive any evil either. And if you acquire a different sensitivity, you will be an indifferent being and you will not stop living. 33. Our life is what our thoughts create. 34. Men are born for each other. Instruct them or endure them. 35. Is it your reputation that bothers you? Look how quickly we are forgotten. The abyss of eternal time swallows everything. 36. Do not disdain death, rather, accept it gladly, in the conviction that this is also one of the things that nature wants. 37. He who sins, sins against himself. He who commits an injustice commits it against himself, and harms himself. 38. Many times he who does nothing commits injustice, not only he who does something. 39. Today I have freed myself from every difficult circumstance, or rather, I have thrown out all the trouble, because it was not outside of me, but inside, in my opinions. 40. Just because something seems difficult to you, doesn't mean that no one else is capable of achieving it. 41. Imperturbability with respect to what happens as a result of an external cause and justice in things that occur due to a cause that comes from you. 42. Everything you see will very soon be destroyed, and those who have seen destruction will soon be destroyed as well, and he who died in extreme old age will end the same as he who died prematurely. 43. Loss is nothing other than a transformation. 44. Whatever happens to you, from eternity it was pre-established for you, and the concatenation of causes has always intertwined your subsistence with this event. 45. It is in your power to withdraw into yourself whenever you wish. Perfect tranquility consists of the order of the mind, the kingdom that belongs to you. 46. After assigning yourself these names, good, reserved, truthful, prudent, condescending, magnanimous, try never to change your name, and if you lose these names, undertake your search with haste. 47. Don't act as if you will live for 10,000 years. Death stalks you. As long as you live, as long as it is possible, be good. 48. Stop particularly at each of the actions you do and ask yourself if death is terrible because it deprives you of that. 49. In the same way that doctors always have iron instruments at hand for emergency cures, so also, keep ready the fundamental principles to know divine and human things. 50. Life is neither good nor bad, but a place for good and evil. Remember, Marcus Aurelius' reflections remind us of the importance of cultivating a serene mind, focused on the present and virtue, to find true happiness and face life's challenges with wisdom. His words inspire us to cultivate inner strength, to accept what we cannot change, and to seek personal growth through self-knowledge and the practice of virtue. In a world filled with uncertainty and adversity, the teachings of Marcus Aurelius remain a timeless source of inspiration for finding inner peace and living a full and meaningful life. Ideal Stoicism.